All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAGED Wrestling. We got my guy Ben Davino, U17 World Team Member. We're gonna say I about to say World Champion because that's what's coming, and
So
three-time Illinois State Champ. Going to go for four this year, bro. How you doing today, buddy? How's things going, big dog?
going pretty good. Just chilling, getting ready for World Championships in August. So coming up soon.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That was we had talking a little earlier. Who's right now like who you training with the most? Like who's getting you prepared and who you grinding with to get you ready for this big day?
So this past week, since everybody's at Fargo, it was kind of a struggle to get partners in. But I had he's on the move right now. Justin Benjamin, he went to Northwestern, so he's on the move right now. But he's definitely a tough training partner. And then coaches wise, obviously my coach Jason Potter, and then Justin Perch. So those are the main guys helping me right now.
You, you got a heck of a crew down there, buddy.
Yes, sir. I got a great community. So
That's awesome. That's what it takes. I feel like everybody that I've been able to link up with, man, it just seems uh a good family, good household, and a heck of a group of people around you, or how you get to a level such as yourself. I mean, being the number four pound for pound kid in the country, number one at 126. I mean, you definitely are probably surrounded by some really great people, and the work that you put in. And we was talking a little earlier about you being a perfectionist, and I just kind of wanted to touch on that and let them know just how you can win a third state championship and against a returning state champ and still kind of not. I mean, obviously you feel good, but as you were like you related to earlier, just you I guess wasn't up to your standards. Like you would have liked to just kind of do a little bit more work, or what was your thoughts?
yeah. So good match against a good competitor, but like you said, I'm a perfectionist, right? And like this is my craft. So if I don't perfect my craft, then to a sense I'm not that I'm not doing my job, but I'm not doing my job to the highest to my standard, right? So there's definitely always room to improve, but to this specific like tournament and match, um the match didn't go to how I wanted it to go, and it wasn't to my standard. So
I respect that though, bro. And I truly believe that that's what makes you who you are and what makes you so great and so fun to watch. You're different than anybody else I've ever watched. Man, I watch a lot of tape on you and anybody. I try to get all the info I can. I try not to go into these things blind and just randomly. Like I watch tape as far back as I can, and I'll be honest with you. Like you literally, it seems like you take just I mean, like you got this scrambling ability. You're good on your feet. You're good on top. It's like I don't see a weakness. And that's I don't know that I've said that to anybody, maybe Bo Bassett, but outside of that, like I don't know that it's like, man, where if you've had to pick an area that you wanted to improve the most on, what would it be?
definitely top. McGowan was pretty much the only person that I've ridden out in my, not gonna say my whole career, but like as far as high level wrestling goes, definitely probably one of the only people I've ridden out. So I'd probably say top wrestling because that's not my strong suit. I love wrestling on my feet because that's where the
Oh, it's
most comes from. That's where the action packed wrestling comes from. So definitely top. Yeah.
yeah, and you're one of the best people in the. I mean, I'm my like, and I think a lot of people would agree. Like in the neutral position, you're probably, in my opinion, at the high school level right now, I think you're the best in the country. Like I, I would hate to go and like I would probably just choose. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to go about it, bro, because it's like, man, I don't want to stand up with. I think you and Rocco Welsh. Rocco Welsh was really fun to watch on his feet, man. Whenever he wanted to, he got to, and he did it in such a manner of like just like man, it was he really went hard at it, and I feel like you have that same kind of like just whenever you guys want it, you go get it, and you get it, and it makes it really fun to watch. And um, the very first time I ever really got to watch you live, I went to Power or not Power. I keep saying Powerade, but Iron Man, and you beat Mark Anthony McCown in the finals. And was that your first time at Power or at Iron Man, or was that have you been there? Did you wrestle there your sophomore or
So,
freshman year?
my freshman year it was COVID, so there really wasn't any like big tournaments. We kind of made it. Illinois kind of made their own state tournament in a sense. So, um, nothing really my freshman year, and then my sophomore year I got to go to Ironman, and then I wrestled Mark Anthony McGowan in the finals, and then lost to him, and then junior year I got it back. So
You took second at Iron Man your sophomore year.
yeah,
That's crazy. You coming back this year?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. We're gonna link
It
up.
could be a full
I,
team.
good, good. You guys are dogs. I mean, you guys bring such a crew. To be honest, like Illinois, even they represented real good at Fargo. I mean, that it just the state itself, I feel like doesn't get the recognition. And I'll be one to say that I've kind of overlooked Illinois to a point, but you have opened my eyes to it. Really, then I paid attention a little bit at Fargo, and then when you look at just you're at St. Charles East as a whole, it's just like it's just dogs all over the place. Like you guys are monsters. I mean, and the state itself did. I mean, I feel like they represented really well at Fargo. Really, really well.
Yeah, I think it was second and 16U and juniors. So we definitely
Yeah.
have a solid crew and have a lot to look forward to. So
Yep.
definitely, and I mean there weren't like we didn't have like 100% of our guys either. So we were missing out on Jaden
Ben
Cologne for
Davino.
my team, Don Monoretto for my team, Swa, Lockport, obviously Thompson moved to Oklahoma, but like with those guys, I think we win both divisions. So
Yeah, you're probably right. And which is crazy when you think of the Ohio's, the Pennsylvanias, the New Jerseys. I mean, Illinois Illinois is putting a name on the map, my guy. Like, and to be honest, that's why I feel like there's such good competition down there that like whenever you're doing what you're doing, I just don't I respect the fact that you always want to be that perfectionist and better your craft. And to be honest, I think that should be scary for people. And I couldn't be happier because I'm such a fan, bro. You have no idea. Like I love your style, love everything that I've done. Like I came away just like the word that I came up with when I think of like, because I always like, I'm like, all right, what is he like? He's this, like, it's just warrior, bro. Like you are the definition of somebody that will grind out, like outlast everybody. Ain't nobody gonna go 6 minutes harder than you. You are the definition. Honestly, you remind me of Nathan Tomasello to a point. Very good in the neutral position. He was phenomenal for Ohio State. Had a beautiful high crotch, just great on his feet, just hard nose, go get it. Wrestles about the same weight. You know what I mean? He was 125, 133 guy, and I feel like you have a lot of that similar, which is a heck of a for me. It's huge because he was one of my great favorite wrestlers of all time. So if that's the highest praise that I can think to give you, man. Because honestly, I think you have that in you, and he was a warrior for sure.
yeah, that's not a bad person to be compared to. Thomas Sala
No,
definitely
yeah,
one of the best from Ohio State. So
yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. And speaking of Ohio State, we'll segue right into this, brother. So you're going through recruiting and you verbally commit. Uh, what's separated Ohio State?
They have a great support system everywhere, right? Like Coach Ryan, Coach Stieber, Coach Jaggers, people, and they know a lot about wrestling. So, I mean, it can't get much better than that, especially if you like they have it down if they have somebody specifically for recruiting, and they have a good system, and there's not a lot of toxicity that's going to come in and make it shake things up. So it's definitely a solid community there. So I'm really excited to get there.
Yes, sir. And I'm excited for you to get there. I really am because I think in the partners that you're going to have, like the Jesse Mendez's, the Nick Bouzakises, the Brendan McCrones. I mean, just everybody from Dylan D'Amelio for a year. Just everybody, and they've all. And I just did an interview with Dylan and Macron, and they both just said like how it's such a family there. Like when they do something, they do it together. Like there's it really is a brotherhood at Ohio State from the way it sounds, and it sounds like you're about to. And even when you won your U17s, man, I was watching, and on the camera, it shows Nick Bouzakis and Jesse Mendez. What I think were the first ones to greet you when you came off the mat after winning that your U17 spot.
Yeah, definitely. Jesse and Nick going to be huge, huge parts in me succeeding in college. They're great people, and obviously they're phenomenal wrestlers. So I'm definitely excited to get to work with them more in the future. And like the support system there is endless. Like your teammates are your brothers, right? So the family aspect is definitely a huge part of it.
Absolutely, and that you're only going to grow. And like you said, like just you, gosh, the names around you, like it's scary to think that you're going to be put with these monsters and like what you can really achieve, man. I think from one, what I mean, do you have? I mean, coming into your senior year, are you thinking 125 in college, 133? Is there something? I mean, I know you still got a year, you know what I mean, but is there a certain idea that you want to like, hey, if I can stay down at 126 and ride for 125 for them, is it like, hey, let's see where the weight's at when I get there type thing?
So right now I'm thinking 133. But like you said, I still have another year to grow and kind of just get used to wrestling at a little heavier overweight. So um, right now I am thinking 133, but when I get there, I'm kind of gonna have to see how much I weigh and kind of just decide because I do think I'm going through a little growth spurt, which isn't a bad thing.
No, not at all. Not at all. And to be honest with you, with Sasso being in his last year coming up, like and Dylan only having 1 year left, like it definitely I hear, Jesse and Nick, and it's so uh, to be able to get all three of you into that lineup would be essential. And my gosh, would that just make such a scary 133 to 149, like just where 130, yeah, to 140, like if it was able to work that way or however it works. But all three of you, regardless in that lineup, is like, oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't.
definitely gonna have some fireworks in the early stages of the lineup, and definitely like throughout the whole lineup because we still got Welsh, we got a bunch of other guys.
Geog,
Yeah,
Nate, yeah,
Geog Spanish.
Feldman.
Yeah, big man Feldman. Yes, sir. He's back healthy. So I'm definitely excited to be a part of that lineup because obviously that's a dream team.
It is, man. And and whenever I heard you committed, it was like, whoa, like this is be, it, it's a relief to be honest. Like you see Penn State in the Iowas, like even getting like the transfer portal. And it ain't nothing. I mean, hey, however you got to get them. This ain't respect to whoever, but it's nice to be able to see like, hey, Ohio State is really going to be able to run with these boys. You know what I mean? Like, and it just makes it more interesting, more fun for everybody. Like, let's get down and grind with these boys and see if we can go get a national championship. And I like that. I think Tom Ryan is building something special, and I think he went after the right people. And this is just an outsider looking in, but I mean, even I've spoke to a lot of the Buckeyes, and even speaking to you right now, I mean, you seem like a very, very well put together young man that's got a good head on his shoulders and uh, got that good support system that's just going to want to come in and grind and grow and uh, let's keep getting that perfection and see where it leads.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely gonna be able to hang with these Penn States of the world. So I'm super excited because we got the team, and I know we all want to win a national title pretty bad. So when you have competitors like that, it's gonna be hard to take it away from them.
Buddy, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm telling you, I couldn't be more excited about out of all the teams that I've seen put together in the last 2, 3 years. And whenever I know they're saying Jesse's going to redshirt this year, you got your last year of high school, but when you put this whole thing together with felt like you said with Shoemate, Feldman, Geog, it just the upper weights, even Rocco. You still got Karchel that's got a couple years. It looks like a beautiful thing, man. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely something to look forward through or look forward to down the road. So definitely excited years to come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But right now we're looking. We got some work to do before we get there, right? Like
Sure.
so. This year we're looking. But we want to win another Iron Man. You going to Super 32s and Powerade and all that too?
So I'm not 100% sure about Powerade, but I know I want to be at Super 32, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to make that happen. And then Powerade, probably not. And then I think we're looking at Doc B this year. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really talked to my coach that much about it, but definitely Ironman. And then, yeah, so that's a pretty loaded schedule. And then Cheesehead, too. So, I mean, that's kind of more of a local one, but definitely some tough matches to get in those tournaments. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then when I sit here and like just so everybody realizes like who Ben Davino and what you've done, buddy. Just and this ain't even everything, but you've won Fargo. You won at who's number one. You're an Ironman champ. You're a Super 32 champ. A U17 World Team Member. A three-time state champ going for number four. I mean, you're number one ranked 126 pounder and number four pound for pound in the country. Uh, this such an amazing resume. And I know that I'm not even hitting everything. Like these are just like the big things that people throw out. But at the end of the day, like when when you look at that, like is it I guess is it do you think, hey, there's still work to be done, or is it kind of like, hey, we've accomplished a lot of these goals, and like I mean, I know you never want to be laxed. I get that. But at the end of the day, like after this, I guess the main goal for this year is it just, hey, let's go win Ironman, let's go get this state title in this world championship.
yeah, right now it's definitely the World Championship. That's been on my mind constantly. I don't know a day, a minute, a millisecond that I haven't thought about it. It's always in the back of my mind. So definitely right now the focus is that World Championship.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with it coming up in August, man.
Haven't
Heck,
done
it's right
everything there
around
is
the
to do.
corner. It's
Yeah,
here, buddy.
yeah.
It's right around the corner. So it's definitely. And man, you had a heck of a tournament, dude. I mean, just your freestyle game, it could possibly better than your folk style, and that's it's not a knock on your folk style. That's just telling you how good you are in your
I
freestyle.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, your
I like
freestyle
freestyle,
game
I
is
like
on point.
freestyle a little bit more than folk style. Just in the
Yeah,
fact that at first it was like learning a new sport, and like that was kind of cool to me because I don't really like it's a lot of the same stuff as you like wrestle the best competition. But when you get to freestyle, it's a whole new game. There's a lot of different ways to score points. The scoring system's different. You got to learn more rules. Like it's just different. And I kind of like that. So I definitely got a little bit more interested in freestyle.
how old was you when you first started? When you first hit freestyle? Did you
How old
jump
was I?
right into it? Yeah, like did you like when you first started wrestling, was you doing both right off the bat, or did you like was it just folk style for a couple years and then eventually progressed into freestyle?
So for a little bit, I kind of just stuck to folk style, and then as I went on, probably about like year 5 or 6, I do some developmentals, hit our freestyle state tournament, which isn't as tough as like the Pennsylvania state or freestyle state tournament. It's like it's not that like as much of a big deal, but I really kind of started the first year I wrestled Anthony Knox in the U15 finals of the World Team Trials. That's kind of when I kicked off freestyle. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. It's kind of fun. It's different.
How'd you do against Anthony?
I lost the first one and then I won the next two in the best of three.
Had a boy. And
Yeah.
Anthony is he's the real deal. He
Oh
is
yeah,
too.
for
So
sure.
uh it's just that other accolade to throw up, and man, I tell you what, for you getting, so you're looking what, 10, 11, like well, here it started out, how did you get introduced to the sport even as a kid, like even at folk style? What got you first on a mat? Was it dad? Was it just
Yeah. So it was kind of around my birthday and my dad kind of put it in my mind and like I was like, that's kind of silly, like, because he like showed me a stance, and I was kind of laughing at him. I was like, what's that? Like, come on. And then as I thought about it a couple more times, like for a couple more days, and then I just walked down a flight of stairs one day, and I was like, Dad, I want to try wrestling. And my dad made sure we could get our money back if I sucked, and he didn't need his money back, so that was
uh, no, it was a heck of an investment. That's for dang sure. Because I'm glad he put that money up, man. I am. And I'm sure you are too, buddy, because it definitely was. It, it's got to be life changing, bro. I mean, the things that you've accomplished at such a young age, it's got to be exciting. That's a cool story, though, man. It is, and I'm glad it all worked out. So you start wrestling, and when did it? I guess the first couple of years was you kind of getting your butt kicked, or did it just click for you? Like, hey, man, this is what I was. This is my craft. This is what I'm built to do.
in the practice room. I definitely got my butt kicked a lot. I don't remember many times I didn't come out of the practice room crying, but I won a lot of my actual matches with cow catchers and headlocks. So I guess I was succeeding a little bit, and then here and there I'd get my butt kicked a little bit. But as I kind of went on and wrestled better competition, I mean, I kind of started sticking with it, and I started liking it a little bit more. But my dad's rule was he'd always try and get me 20. I think it was 20 losses per year, just to like we'd travel everywhere. We'd go to Wisconsin, we'd go to Iowa on weekends, we go to Nebraska a couple times, just Michigan, everywhere around, and we just try and find the best competition, just so I like get humbled a little bit to say, but yeah.
I love that, bro. Like that is so wow, that's such a unique way of looking at it. Like I love that. Like because if you're in the same room every day kicking the shit out as the same guy day in and day out, like you're not getting better. So I feel like your dad, what a phenomenal way of looking at it. Like, hey, let's get you the best competition. Try to get a, even set a number. Like, let's try to get, like, don't want you to lose ever. Hey, hell, hopefully you win them all. But like, we're gonna try to at least put you in a position to where you can. I like that, man. I've never heard it put that way, but that is awesome. That's because to be honest, and because I was gonna ask you, like if there was a young 6 7 year old kid and he was like, hey, how do I get to Ben Davino's level? Like what did it take for you from the day you started to be where you're at now, winning Fargos, winning Super 32s? I mean, getting ready to go represent Team USA, man. Like and you represent all of us, bro. Like we're like whenever you're on the mat, what's nice is like no matter where you decide you go to high school or college, like when you put on that USA singlet, bro, like you hold it down for everybody. You know what I mean? And it, what would you tell a kid to, if they came up and asked you, how do I get to this level? What did it take?
Um, honestly, it's different for everybody, right? Like some people don't
Yeah.
like this isn't like made for everybody. Um, but I'd obviously say stick with it because you're not gonna have a lot of success at first, and if you do, there's always ways to improve and get better even while you're having success. And then definitely just putting in extra work, right? You got to make sure you're loving the sport first. So you got to make sure you're loving the sport. And then if you're itching to get back on the mat, if you're taking a break or something like that, or you already had a practice today and you want to get another one, don't be afraid to do it, right? So that's definitely something that I'd say to everybody, just keep working hard and don't be afraid to get back on the mat for a second time a day, right? Don't be afraid to go for that run. Don't be afraid to lift those weights. I mean, not too early because you don't want to hurt yourself, but don't be afraid to get those extra workouts in and push yourself a little bit.
Yes, sir. I like it. That's good. That's an awesome answer. I can respect it. Because to be honest with you, I asked that just for the simple fact that whatever you did, it worked. Because I mean, I got a little guy right now. I mean, he's got a couple more years before he even step on a mat. I mean, he's only two, but uh, I'm always just curious on like how I mean hopefully he loves it. I mean like you said, it ain't for everybody. So I mean obviously I hope since dad loves it, I hopefully he loves it. But at the end of the day, like I like getting uh just pointers off you elite guys just to be like, man, what did it really take to get to this level? Like what kind of mindset, what kind of mentality? And I think your dad, and with the way that you viewed it and the way that you just said it was perfect. And then I think with your dad doing what he did and traveling and getting you the best competition plays a big factor in it too. So I but that was well put, man. That was. I respect it, man. And when you look at your high school record, dude, you've lost one. You're 119 and one through 3 years, bro. What's this? What is this one loss about? That's what I'm upset about. What is
That
this
was
one
McGowan my first year. Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
really?
Only loss. Knock on wood.
No doubt, no doubt, because we got a big senior year coming up, man,
Yes,
and
we do.
and I didn't know how bad. What, it was your freshman year,
It was my sophomore year. Yeah.
sophomore year? That was the one at. So you caught him. That was at Ironman.
Yeah. Yeah. That was in the
So
finals.
so you wrestled him twice back to back years at Ironman in the finals.
Yeah. Back to back years at Ironman, and then one more time in between there for who's number one.
Man, so you got him two. He got you the first time. You got him the second time, and then third time.
Yeah.
Nice. So I mean, you just steadily getting better, and he. I really thought that he was. I mean, I didn't think he is. He's got a heck of a future ahead of him too. So, but I didn't know that was the one, bro. Like that's crazy. But like I said, like you really hit the scene for me whenever you beat him at Iron Man. Just it literally was like I gotta dig into this cat. And then whenever I sit there and like I start following you on Instagram, and then all of a sudden like here he is in this Ohio State singlet. I'm like, oh, I really gotta dig into this guy. But man, we're excited. I promise you, man. Buckeye Nation's definitely couldn't couldn't be more excited. That's for dang sure. Because I mean, honestly, when you look, I mean, you went 32-0, won a state title as a freshman at 113, and Jason Potter's got to be doing a heck of a job down there at St. Charles East because I mean, like you said, like you got a team down there with just killers and uh for you to even be able to do that at 32-0 and winning a state championship as a freshman, buddy, you don't it's few and far between that you find that does that and has a 119 and 1 record. I mean, that's buddy, if you do it one more year, like you said, we're gonna knock on wood because I promise you, like you I'm probably outside of your family and your best friends, bro. I'm right behind them as your biggest fan. So I want you to succeed in every way possible, and I hope you win 4 national championships, and I hope the Buckeyes bring home a bunch with you. But at the end of the day, like I know at the age of 5, like you were saying, like your dad. I read this thing that your dad kind of put you into wrestling because you had this energy. You had this little was it like a hyper like type deal or
Yeah.
just
I was a super high for a little kid.
yeah, my son is too. So honestly, when I read that, I was like, I looked over at my wife. I'm like, let have it work for Betty. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna.
Let's go.
But man, and then you jumped straight into like the club level scene right there at St. Charles, huh? Like at the age of 6, from what I was reading, like your dad like kind of introduced it, and then it was just like boom, like all right, here we go, like throw him in the clubs, let's get it.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the only option at the time. So we kind of just hopped right into the club, and then I started with the same coach I ended with. So I went from St. Charles East to St. Charles North because they just had better kids and they kind of produced better results. So we went over there for a little bit. I spent majority of my time over there, and then towards the end, it kind of became a little bit hectic and things were coming off the rails a little bit. So I hop ship from going to Marmion to going to St. Charles East, and I mean Potter has done a beyond phenomenal job of like putting together this team that's not only a team but a family, right? So we towards the end of the season we'd start going to laser tag together, like for a practice, right? Because like we had this one dual tournament loss that kind of like shifted our mindsets because like when you put together a team like that, it's hard for the kids not to get a little bit excited and not to overlook the people in front of them or the teams in front of them. So we definitely overlooked them a little bit, and then we took a loss kind of mid-season right after. Yeah, I think it was right after that Ironman and Cheesehead sort of thing, and our coach was kind of like, "Hey, what's wrong here?" And he dug a little bit deeper into it, and like those next couple practices weren't wrestling practices. Those next couple practices were bonding practices, and like
I dig it.
going to laser tag together, going out to eat together, right? Playing cards together. So like he's done a phenomenal job of kind of just like bonding our team to get fun and not really just competing. And I think that made a big difference mid-season, and it's going to continue to make a big difference in the future. So
Absolutely. And it kind of it kind of makes sense why you chose Ohio. It kind of just trickled right down to it, man. Like that, it seems like you're gonna have that same, like, you know what I mean? Like you built that, and then you're going to a place that is strictly like that. That's a huge point of what their team is built on. It's just like a family environment and everything. So it kind of it seems like it's gonna work out really well.
yeah, that's kind of what I look for in a college, right? Like what can imitate my high school like in a college sense. And I mean,
Yeah.
Ohio State kind of front of the book to the back of the book kind of did the same exact thing. So I mean, if it's working for me now, I'm pretty confident it's going to work for me in the future. So
What do you think of that Cavelli Center, that new stadium that Mr. Ryan, Coach Ryan, got
it is
set up?
beautiful.
And
That place is
dude,
going to get electric.
it does. I went to the Penn State duel and the Michigan State duel, and this past season, and I can't wait for you to be able to experience coming out of that tunnel through the crowd with the flames beside you, with your song jamming, walking up them steps, going and splouting up every coach, and then just going and going to war, man. And I'm excited. I I don't ever want to rush anybody, but man, I'm ready for you to be in Columbus, man.
I'm beyond ready. I'm kind of mad I got this senior year.
I get
I'm
it. I
for
get
my
it.
first visit there, I was kind of just like, "Oh, I'm excited. Let's go. Get me on that."
Yeah, that oh, it is. It's a beautiful thing, man. And even the weight room that's set up there, like they definitely set you guys up for success. And the four coaches, and I'm beyond excited for you, bro. I am, and congratulations on it, man. That's awesome too. By the way, like I'm over here like as a like heck yeah. But at the end of the day, man, that's you put in a lot of hard work to get to where you're at. So congrats on getting getting to go to an amazing school like that and be a part of it, bro, because you deserve it. So
I
definitely,
appreciate it. Thank you.
yes, sir, yes, sir. And I tell you what, whenever I sit here and I look at everything in this past year, you go 50-0, and yeah, I hope all of this continues for you, brother. I do. I hope that you end up 169-1 for your career, because I feel like nobody I've ever seen or talked to has won a state championship and been a little down about it because they love their craft so much and want to be great at it at that kind of level. Like obviously everybody wants to be great at it or else they wouldn't be there. But to see the way that you handle it and approach it is unique, man. It really is. And I feel like I see why you are the way that you are, like what built you to be the man that you've become, buddy. And it's definitely it's going to be a hell of a ride, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it. It's kind of new ground for me too. So I'm kind of just exploring, definitely taking advantage of every opportunity I get. And I mean, my community is a big part of that, right? My dad drives me places endlessly, or used to. I mean, he kind of got fired when I got my license, but he's still there. So definitely a big part of it. And my coach just set out go attack these guys. I mean, it's definitely a huge part of where I am today.
Absolutely. So how do you feel about this? Like I mean, you got another year for, but how do you feel about the 3-point takedown change here?
I mean, it's not a whole lot I can change. There's no part in which I can change it, but
Right.
it's just an adapting thing, and I obviously I love wrestling on my feet, so I think it's gonna benefit me a
That,
little bit, and I mean, it's gonna make me have a little bit more of a sense of urgency to get those big takedowns in the first period, get those late takedowns in the third period. So I mean, it's definitely a game changer for a lot of wrestlers.
absolutely. Absolutely. How much, but I mean, kind of jumping all over here, but back to this one's kind of just, I was curious on it, but how much wrestling have you done overseas with the freestyle?
None. This is my first time going overseas, so
To a
I
world championship.
yeah. So I'm definitely excited for it. I kind of wish I was able to go to the Pan American tournament, but I know Sam Hearing represented us well over there, so I'm
For sure.
excited to just get in and scrap it up. I mean, they haven't seen me wrestle before, or maybe they watched me, but it's different when you feel it. So definitely
100%.
excited to get in and start wrestling.
Yeah, because like everything that I hear, like from guys that have like, I was talking to actually Bo Bassett was telling me he was like, man, he's like the first time he went over, he said he wrestled like a kid from like Georgia. He's like, dude, I looked over and like I'm nervous because it was his first time overseas. He's like, and this kid had like a singlet that didn't fit him. He was like, it made him. He's like, shoot, I got this. Like, just kidding. He's like, dude, and we got out there, and that boy was a dog. Like, just they. He's like, but he's like, the way that they view it, that's all they know is freestyle. That's all they've since they never had the 5 6 years without it. It was from rip. This is all they know, and they do it. He said that the way that they do it for a living. Like this is how they take care of their families. This is how they put food on the table. Like this is what they do. And I was like, man, I never really looked at it like that. He's like, we're out there chasing our dreams, like, but these guys will like they'll try to kill you because like this is the way that they got to provide, like, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely excited for you. I never knew that, bro. I didn't know this is your first time, man. Nothing like get breaking you in, huh?
Yeah,
Like, hey,
definitely getting thrown in the deep water. So I'm excited. Yeah,
I
but
think you're built for it, bro. You're built
yeah,
for it.
I'm excited. Like you were talking about earlier, or just now, like Bassett talking about how like his singlet was loose. Like if I seen somebody here and their singlet didn't fit them, I'm like, all right, like let's go. But I mean, listen to that, or listen to you say that. It's kind of like everybody has like their different ways of doing it, and maybe if their singlet's a little big on them, maybe that's how they like it. So
Exactly, exactly.
we
And that's
gotta
the way to
definitely.
view it over there. Like everybody's a monster, and just that's. I mean, honestly, they're not going to be at the World Championships if they're not. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like they're not going to be toeing the line. Well, they're not going to be in that circle with you if they ain't that guy for their country.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So, but I do know one thing, Benny. Like I couldn't be more ecstatic that you're coming to be a Buckeye. I couldn't be more ecstatic for you come August, brother. I promise you, I'll be watching everyone. Honestly, dude, I'll probably be hitting up your inbox like, "Oh, bro, you got this next one." I'll and just be like, "Bro, shut up." Like, you know what I mean? But like,
I'll be checking. I'm not a big
I
Facebook guy, but now I know.
yeah, for sure. I'll definitely will, man. And even hit it up on the Instagram and stuff, bro, because I definitely appreciated it. And just this conversation, man, and getting to know you a little bit and just letting everybody that gets to see this get to know you, just how you're prepping and getting prepared for these world championships. It's definitely a big thing. And uh, I mean, you're holding it down for the whole country. So, man, we're excited to see where it goes, man.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. I mean, for
It
this
is.
way, I'm the guy that's representing the United States of America. So that's
Yeah,
definitely that's definitely
it
exciting.
it is, man. It probably. I was talking to oh, who was it? She's wrestling. Gosh, Michaela Beck, and she's wrestling U20 and U23s for the U.S. And that's what I told her. I said, hey, whenever you put that singlet on, you're holding it down for all of us. Like as fans, as you. I mean, you guys obviously are the ones bearing all the weight, but like we're with you. You know what I mean? Like if there's a we want to see y'all succeed. We want you to get the gold, and even if you don't, we're gonna love you, and man, come back, keep grinding, and keep chasing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's the first time I put on my Team USA gear, there's something different about it. It gives you some kind of energy that you like. You just want to go out there, start going at it. So, I mean, there's definitely a big support system behind me, and I mean, I know that even kids that I beat in the past or I'm gonna wrestle in the future, I mean, they're kind of behind me at this point, right? Like they're kind of pushing me forward towards this world gold. And then when I get back here, they're probably gonna try and beat me up again. But definitely definitely a big support system behind me. So I'm super excited.
Good, buddy. You should. I mean, that's it's. I mean, you're like I said, you're even the guys you've beat, the guys that well, the guy you've lost to. I mean, they should all be behind you because I mean, you're we're all a part of it, bro. And that's what makes this even. I feel like it puts it at a whole nother level. Like I couldn't imagine. You know what I mean? That's got to be a great feeling. I mean, you're the best guy in the country, bro. At that weight, I mean, you're holding it down. What is it? You're 61,
Oh, I'm 60. So
60.
132.2.
That's you're the best 60-kilogram guy you said from U17s in the United States. That that's I couldn't imagine laying my head down at night being able to say that, man. So be proud of it, bro, because we're proud of you. That's for damn sure.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But man, I'll tell you what, Benny, thank you for taking this time, man. I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit and letting the people get an inside look of what Ben Davino's all about, man. And honestly, I want to do it again, man. I want once you get this world championship, you go get that gold medal when you come home and get settled in and get to Ohio State, get you settled. But let's link back up, and I'm gonna see you at Iron Man. I'm gonna look you up, man. I got a shirt I gotta give you.
Yes, sir.
So
I appreciate it.
yeah, and then let's go win another Iron Man and
Yes, sir.
hold hold it down for them Buckeyes, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right, my man. Well, hey, thanks again, and you have a good night, and make sure you stay in touch, bro.
Will do. I appreciate you
Uh,
having me. And this has been a treat.
absolutely, dude. I can't wait to do it again, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you here November, and
Awesome.
best of luck. Best of luck. We'll definitely be watching, man, and best of luck. We're definitely rooting for you at the Worlds, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have a good
Have a
night,
good
big
night.
man. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
All right, bro.
Bye.
Later. Benny DeVino. I thought it was cool as an Ohio State uh, fan, as a Ben DeVino fan. Man, you really got to watch this kid's tape. He really is just. I mean, he said he wanted to work on his top game, but to be honest, I think he's good everywhere. He's really good on his feet, though. He ain't lying. Like he's got this just tenacity about him. Like whenever he wants it, he goes and gets it. And I I really hope he can. All of them though, the whole world team. I mean, I mean, they're like I told him, man. They're representing us, Team USA. So at the end of the day, who doesn't want their country to go? But especially Benny, man. He's got a little special place for me. So uh, just a heck of a wrestler, heck of a kid. I mean, you heard it. He speaks very well, and honestly, I never heard of. I really like that though, like how his dad was took him around and was like, "Hey, we're gonna try to find a way to get you 20 losses." And I think you always got to try to find a way to get your kids to wrestle the best kids so they can continue to get better. Like to keep them in one room where they're whooping up on everybody. You're not going to gain anything from that. So um, I respect it and I like it. And to be honest with you, this man, I think the sky's the limit, and it don't matter where he would have went, whether it was Cornell, Penn State, Iowa, Michigan, Indiana. If he would have stayed home in Illinois, like he's going to be successful because eh, his view. You're talking about a kid that won a state championship against a state returning state champion, and he was a little down on himself because it it didn't he didn't quite wrestle the match that he wanted to. And the way that I view it is, it, yeah, if you want just the fact he wants to be that good, like it, you can't think that nothing other than this boy's just not going to stop till he gets what he wants, and he's going to make sure that he's the best at it. So excited for his future. Excited to hopefully talk to him again. Excited to see him overseas for the first time at the World Championships. That's crazy, but I honestly think the man can go win gold. He's that good. If you haven't checked out Ben Davino, go check him out. He's the real deal. But I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you. Like, subscribe, follow, hit it up on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Hit them up. Sage Wrestling. Uh, Thank y'all, man. Appreciate everything. I love y'all.